Welcome to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. It's your boy, Smiley Jizzle. Let me tell you how I got these scars. Let me stop. And my man's
It's so deep.
and our co-host.
Nah, have fun.
And we in the building. Happy Sunday. Oh yeah, yo, we got a lot of shit we want to talk about. The balloon guy that's been circulating.
Aaron.
The balloon guy, Aaron. Tariq Nasheed, Myron Gaines, they was going at it.
Why they call him the balloon guy?
Because of that,
Because that
he
show,
was on the show.
the
where
balloon,
he
the
popped
pop,
up.
the shit, pop the balloon show. Before we begin, I gotta say, I wanna get into relationships before we get into the crazy shit. So we were talking about the dating, right? And understanding like how difficult it is in dating, but to not discourage people from entertaining the idea that it's somebody for you, somebody for everybody. Sometimes you gotta go outside of your area. Sometimes you gotta
pop out and show them.
Sometimes you gotta pop out like 15 seconds. I think we did 15 seconds.
I fuck them up.
But in any case, you wanna make sure that whenever you're out here and you're trying to meet people, that you always put your best foot forward. Women be women, men be men. Whatever the idea of what that is, the true nature of what that is, that's what you need to be to get the person. I can't tell a woman how to be a woman, but I can tell a man how to be a man. I've been doing it for a long time. I think if you handle life a certain type of way, then good things will happen depending on how you handle life. If you handle things a certain type of way, bad things will happen depending on how you handle life. You know what I mean? Like it just comes like that. You know what I mean? You have to make better choices, and sometimes the better choices include some risk. You have to be able to determine what are necessary risks and unnecessary risks. In the dating situation, I look at it as like putting yourself out there for women. If you really truly want a relationship, if that's really what you want, then you have to make necessary risk. You may have to put yourself out there. You may have to communicate a little bit more. You may have to try to invest a little bit more in the person that you want to deal with. Guys, the same. If you really want relationships, if that's what your goal is right now, then you have to know what women are looking for right now in relationships. So in that, you have to step your game up as a man in some cases, and it might include you being something, not something that you're not, but being something that you should be more of. You know what I mean? Like if the best qualities in you is your artistic nature, then you need to embellish that. You need to show that artistic nature. You need to put that artistic nature out as much as you can in other ways to try to profit off of it. Not so much as profit, but to try to gain some traction from the things that you're good at. And that itself will attract people according to that type of lifestyle. You may attract more people that are involved with that or whatever, and those may be the people that, you know, probably start fucking with you more and shit like that. But for men, like we was on Lapeef the other night, and for men, it's like some guys may have to do more for women than other guys because a woman is only going to allow certain guys to do certain things. Maybe they got the guy that maybe he looks a certain type of way that they like or whatever. Or maybe he's a little more charming than the other guys or something like that. And so she's going to give him a little bit more grace in certain areas than he would give other guys. You have to see if it's worth your time, if it's worth your effort, if it's a necessary risk. I'm putting all of this energy out there for this person. Is it worth it for me to fly this chick out knowing that whatever, if you're going to be doing all of that? So it's best for you to always put your best foot forward and show like, look, I'm taking it on the chin. Like I'm easy with it, and see, gauge the situation yourself. See if I deserve the type of energy that I'm getting, or if I could do a little bit more. I could be a little bit more humble, or I could give a little bit more. I could be a little more assertive. in certain areas, certain things that you know you probably have issues in, and take a look at yourself sometimes. Is there certain things that I could work on? My charisma. Is there, whatever? Is there certain things that I can do to probably make myself more attracted to the fairer sex, to the ones that I want? What can I do to help that? And some guys don't even think about doing that because we're so busy being guys. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I'm a dude. Like, I don't gotta do this. Da, 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 da. But grooming versus, certain things that I wanted to talk about, that's grooming yourself, taking care of yourself, going to get a haircut every couple weeks or whatever, or smelling good, or getting, not, you don't have to break the bank, but getting yourself clothes that aren't all tattered and too tight fitting, and maybe, just taking care of yourself, cleaning your sneakers from time to time, little shit like that. Like, I'm not really like dainty with shit, but I clean my kicks. Like, I got sneakers that I haven't even worn for like maybe over a year. They still look good. They still look in mint condition. Like, I think every man could probably do that. And I got my play sneakers. Like, I paint. I do men shit. Like, I dig in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, I do all that shit, and I have shit for that. You know what I mean? So I think a wardrobe for certain occasions is important. I think a man should have at least 2 suits. You know what I mean? At least 2 suits. You never know when you're going to have to go to a funeral, and you never know when you're going to have to go to a ceremony of gentlemen where you're going to have to dress a certain way for people that look like you. So you're going to something for a whole bunch of black people, but it's one of those galas type of shit, and you ain't got no shit to wear. You're not going to go there in no fucking polo and some khaki pants, nigga, and everybody dressed up. You going to be the sore thumb. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that men can do to make themselves more attractive to the other sex, and that's things that we overlook as opposed to, it's supposed to be a little crazy this week.
I just cracked my windows.
Oh shit.
Close them shits. Ow, nigga.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, right. Damn, wow.
A walk hole.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that men can do. As far as, like I said, taking care of their appearance, smelling good. There's affordable fucking smell goods that you can invest in.
Nigga ask.
You know what I mean? You don't gotta go crazy with it, but I mean, we have a woman on the panel, like, women like when men smell good. Like, I've heard them say, I've gotten compliments on my shit. I got some expensive shit, but I got some affordable shit too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, the expensive shit is not even as good as the affordable shit. I'm telling you. The affordable shit will blow your fucking mind, and I'll give you the sample of the expensive shit, and you'll be like, damn, I like that. And I'll be like, man, that's some like cheap ass cheesy shit. But that shit smells great. You just gotta know the difference and what goes with your body. There's certain spices. There's certain, outdoorsy scents. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of shit, but you don't gotta know all that. All you gotta do is know, like, look, it smells good on me, and this is what it is. And you can go to the spot and they can recommend it for you. That's one thing. You gotta take a shower and shit and smell good. You gotta brush your teeth. You gotta fucking, you know what I mean? Some niggas, they try to pursue these women and they don't come correct from the jump. You gotta come correct. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Are you going against this? Go ahead.
I'm not going
Can
against
I
that.
say mine?
I want to hear what you got to say.
I'm just saying that sometimes they could do all of that and it still don't work because the female just doesn't like how you operate and like who you are.
Okay.
So then that's not the woman for you.
Right.
That might be the woman for you, but at the end of the day, if you're not that you're forcing it,
type shit.
not that you're forcing it, it's you didn't know your potential until certain people come around you.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes a woman will be the best thing for a man. Like, sometimes you'll see a woman that gets around a dude that, you know what I mean, he was a good dude, but he just never took it to the next level because he didn't have that inspiration. Okay. And you'll meet that person. You see what I'm saying? But that's more like, people can basically do all of that, but if she doesn't like your personality, it's not gonna count for nothing.
So then that's not the one for you. Like I said, if she don't like your personality, then and you realize that, then you should probably go find someone that does like your personality. Or maybe there are things that about your personality that you need to change.
That's
from
what I'm saying.
Not for that relationship, but for yourself. It may be a hindrance overall, not just in a romantic
But that's what I
relationship.
mean, though. And she could see that in you, and that's what she doesn't like. That's why I
Well, the
said
only thing is,
she could be the
it's good
reason
for
that,
her
like, look,
to have that
I see this.
communication and say that
Yeah,
to you.
100%.
But how would the man retain that?
It depends on the man. That's subjective.
And that's
some
what I'm
niggas
saying.
can't take.
And that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I gotta do this. They feel like
But
they're the
then
man.
that's
They're
another
doing
thing.
everything that they're supposed to be
Stoicism
doing.
is, you know,
Yeah,
because sometimes
but
we could take that advice and make something out of it, and that's when that woman could be the best thing for us. But that means that you gotta also
You
have
gotta receive it the
understanding
right
as a
way,
man
100%.
and have the way to absorb that that constructive criticism and make yourself better because of it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Because, yeah, what you said, yeah, I like if you smell good. That's a bonus. But as long as you don't stink, like you can just wash your hair. You don't. It's not a requirement that you wear cologne, but it's definitely a bonus. I love when guys wear cologne when they smell good or whatever, their body wash, whatever. It does sign into your pheromones or your hormones, whatever. Like I do. But as long as you're clean, I don't care. You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to wear a chain. You don't have to have the new Jordans. If you do, that's a bonus. I like if a guy looks nice and stuff, but you could just have clean clothes on. I don't care what type of sneakers you wear. Yes, I do like, you should have an outfit. I agree with that. So like if you're going to a funeral or a special occasion, like a wedding or something where you would need to be dressed a certain way. So you should have at least, you know, a couple suits to put on or whatever. But on
How do you feel
regular
like
day to
shopping
day.
for your man? How do you feel like shopping for your man?
What do
Like
you mean?
you getting him the suits out of your judgment. How do you feel about that?
Like being his, like,
If he's like, I don't care.
It's fashion designer.
And-
I would do it.
Oh, that's solid.
But I'm not gonna. I would just. I
How do
mean,
you
I
feel
don't know.
about that?
I
How do you
feel.
feel about a woman
I don't want a
doing that?
woman dressing me.
I wouldn't tell. That's why I said
Oh,
I'm open with that. I don't care, but unless, like I said, if we're going somewhere, then you should have something
Yeah.
that
respect.
you could wear to that. But I'm not gonna press that on you. You could wear regular clothes the rest of the time. That's in those moments where we're going somewhere special. I don't care if you have. It depends. I don't have a specific type. Like Jim Jones, because you said about haircuts and stuff like that. I just want to touch on that. Jim Jones be looking all scruffy and stuff, but I find Jim Jones attractive. He don't have to do that. But some guys be looking scruffy like that, and that doesn't work for them. So it depends on the guy. Like some guys could pull that off, and some guys can't. They look better. They look better with an edge. I don't really like pretty. I mean, they might be cute, like pretty boy type or whatever. They might be cute, but I don't think I would want to be with them because their personality usually don't be. And I do like a masculine man. And speaking about what you said, masculine men, or I've had conversations about men, with two men, about things that they did that I didn't like or whatever, that in a way to try to tell them, like, you're acting like, I didn't say this to them, but like, basically you're acting like a female because you're like, you're always complaining, you were complaining all day and saying this, you done said it to several people, like you ain't
Or if
getting
a
off
dude
your
whines,
chest.
like if he comes in your house and he sees you watching something on TV, it's like, what the fuck is that? Can you
But
turn,
I was,
oh my God, turn that off.
yeah, and that's what
Like
I was
that.
saying. Like, but they do that all, like throughout the day
Consistent.
about different things or about one thing all day long. You
Mm.
keep complaining. That was one example. Yeah, like, oh, you come in here like, what is this? What the fuck you are? But then that's how you are all the time. You don't even have to be like
They probably
something
repeated
just
how they was
all
raised,
day
though,
long.
right?
You're like complaining about shit, and it's like, what the fuck? You done
So,
told 5 different.
I think that's
people
trauma
the
too.
same
When
story.
I summed that up too was not being able to hold a conversation, complaining lack of stoicism in men, and no interest or open mind in her interests.
That's trauma.
And they
though.
don't know how to handle it. Cause I've had a conversation. I'm
Because
like,
if that's all you,
you
see,
should
if
be-
that's all you hear your mother complaining, and, you know what I'm
You
saying,
should-
and you was raised with
you
her.
should
that
stand
whole-
It
Right.
is trauma, but the way to correct that behavior is to learn how to be able to hold a conversation and to stop complaining so
I
much.
agree. You gotta
and to
know.
have a little bit more stoicism.
You gotta be smart
you gotta
enough
learn
to know
it.
there's a
You gotta
problem
learn it,
for
right.
you.
yeah, and that's what I said. Like you said, it depends on the person on how they would take it. If they're gonna make those changes to be better, and if they're not, then it's like, or you get offended. And it wasn't in a rude way.
Yeah,
I
we
said
gotta
it.
listen. We
and-
gotta listen to women. Like that's how you learn about that's how you learn about women. how to, you
And the
know, how to
woman that's
be with
gonna
women
accept
and
that,
shit like
she's
that.
gonna walk all over you.
You have to learn. You have to start to listen to what they're saying. What these little red pill and all that shit is trying to get women to understand men. And the problem is we never had a safe space to tell women exactly how we feel. I don't agree with some of the shit that they say on those podcasts, but I do agree with a lot of the shit that they say on those podcasts. So with that being said, I'm kind of mixed about it because I don't like when they disrespect women as a whole. I don't think that there's anything wrong with women. I think that we just have to have more of an understanding. And as men, with stoicism, which I believe is really important, it's vitally important to our existence as men, to be able to understand that there are people that are not as emotionally stable to handle certain challenges. And so when we understand that, we should be able to, okay, you can't do this, let me do it. You know what I mean? And then, okay, I'm not mad at you because you can't do it. If you don't want to learn how to do it and you're gonna get frustrated with it, then let me just do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I'll take care of it. But I think that's the biggest thing with the whole red pill and whatever the fuck it is that they're telling men that when you understand women that you don't have you have to fucking just treat them like you don't give a fuck about them or whatever.
That's bullshit.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you understand women, you know how to move. You can find a woman that's more suited to you because you understand that, all right, more women are going to be attracted to me now because I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to do. But I only want her. And I know once I get her, how I'm going to keep her.
Do you think you should strive for that or just let it come to you?
Let it come to you, yeah, absolutely. Because striving for something that's natural is gonna bring unnatural circumstances.
And what I mean strive is like, okay, so certain women want to get married, and because they want to get married, they have to be what we would consider a good wife. So in the flip of that is certain men want to get married. So instead of, you know what I mean, waiting for certain things to happen to them, it's like you said, they're already preparing, and you could be preparing to be a good husband. But it has to be a mental thought first, because if you're not thinking about it, then
I think men are destined
it's hard to manifest
to possibly. I mean, well, I
we're
don't know.
always
I don't know.
destined to fuck bitches
I don't know
now.
if men
That's
are. I don't know if
different.
men are destined to be husbands, but I know
That's what
women
I'm
are
saying.
destined to be wives.
And that's what I'm saying.
So it's like
think about it. There's more women
the
in
double
the world
standard
than
of
there is
the double
of
standard.
men, though.
Right. And
So
that's what I'm saying.
naturally,
The double
how are
standard
all
of it,
these women gonna get married?
They can't.
Exactly.
But that's why I believe like men. That's why men are polygamous by nature. And
I believe that's true.
it's that we have to try to control ourselves to make a woman happy.
to make
having
the
that-
Western civilization.
Right. For that understanding of it, it makes it very difficult for you to be natural. So that's why I said don't force it. Let it come to you if you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. If you're taking care of yourself, you look great, you smell great, you take care of yourself, you take care of your family, you take care of your priorities. Women are gonna want to fuck with you, man. It's not even gonna. It's not gonna be a thing to think about. You're not gonna have to wonder about shit. It's gonna be women that's not gonna want to fuck with you. Okay, even when you're at your best, it's gonna be people that's not gonna want to fuck with you. And so be it. Let it happen. Let it happen. But let the one that you need to be with, let it just be there and let it form naturally. Don't force it. Things don't happen. Things don't work out.
Don't try to control
Have a clear
people.
mind.
Because
don't
that's
be
gonna
controlling.
push them
But
away.
if she encourages you to be a leader, then lead.
Okay.
Feel me?
Yeah, and if you gotta try, that's what I learned. You can't control people. People are gonna be themselves. They're gonna do what they want to do. You could try to stop them, but if that's something that they want to do, they're gonna do it. So you gotta just let people be themselves, lead them to their own. Yeah, like, and if you don't like who they are, then don't be with them. You gotta pay attention to and have conversation about what you're looking for in a relationship and what are your deal breakers, and you gotta uphold that. You can't say, oh, I don't want you to do that, and then let it slide when they do it, because then they know, oh, you're not standing 10 toes down, you're not standing on what you said. Like you said, if I do this, it would be a rapper. You're not gonna tolerate this, but you're still here. So
Yeah, it's hard to like commit to like something that is easily unavoidable. Like if you're in a situation and you really are feeling this girl, but she doesn't like cheating, she doesn't want to fuck with another cheater, and you're trying to be the better person in the situation, I feel like those are the times where it's like you'll see the baddest females come out of nowhere and old flings that you didn't have unfinished business with hit you up. It'll just be that time. Like it wasn't no other time. Like
Right.
that's why I'll be like, yo, are we being tested? Is this like a test or is it's a lesson? I don't know.
Yo, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like every single time I try to do right, it's like something that come in
Happens
the
to all
way
of us, yeah.
that fucking like try to slide me off the shit. Like I'm dealing, like say I'm dealing with a shorty, I really like her. I put myself in the situation. So say I'm dealing with a shorty, I really like her, and everything going great. We talking, we communicating, we say good morning, we say good night, we appreciate each other's conversation, we appreciate everything about each other. It seems great. It's perfect. It's too perfect. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, everything just stops. And one person is confused. You know what I mean? Cause I know I'm confused. So then I look at the situation and I'm like, damn, like, do I pursue it? Do I engage? Do I remain stoic and just be like, you know what, things happen, I'll let her come around. There's a time when you get to a situation, you're dealing with somebody where you can't just be stoic. If that's my person I'm in a relationship with, I'm calling the police. I'm trying to fucking, where the fuck is my girl? Like, you know what I mean? I'm on that type of time.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it from a perspective. People got things going on in their life and they'll make time for things that they want to make time for. If they wanted to make time for you, they'll take the time to let you know and educate you on what's going on so you don't assume and make an ass out of yourself. So me, not really so much as fear of making an ass out of myself, because I made an ass out of myself several times. But I guess more of just trying to give the person grace. And I think I give people too much grace.
So can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
What did you learn from this experience?
Nothing was to be taught, to be honest, to me. There was nothing to be taught. It's a play-by-ear situation for me.
So if a similar situation happened like it, you wouldn't be, you wouldn't think it would go the same way. You think anything can happen.
Anything could happen, yeah.
Okay.
Cause I have friends that left me hanging because they got some coochie. You feel me? And I'm like, what the fuck?
But aren't those friends those type of niggas?
Right.
So you would know
by
repetition what type of niggas
maybe
they are.
y'all know what type of person I'm dealing with.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think only certain type of people would just leave you
Exactly.
leave you in the wind.
Exactly.
And
Especially
everything
certain
is
type of
okay.
women.
And everything is okay.
Right.
And
In
I
that regard.
hold women to a certain level of accountability because I'm a man. I
Sure.
can't really like fucking enforce women to be something unless she's mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at women like, you know what I mean? Like they move how they move and I know how I move as a man. So I look at it like this. If shorty not giving me the energy that I would want from a shorty, then I'm gonna give her kind of the similar energy that she's giving me. I'm just gonna fall back. Now I wouldn't like
There's a lesson
disrespect her or anything like that. But I would just be like, I'd be like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is type of shit. If shorty disrespected me, then it would be disrespect. But if shorty just shit happens, whatever, then whatever. Now, in my situation, if I pay attention and I'm looking and I see certain things and I'm like, damn, but life seemed regular. Like it's not, life seemed good. So why no response? Why nothing? Like what did I do? Type of shit. I don't feel like I do nothing wrong. Even when I do shit wrong, like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm really like, damn, did I really, everything was good. So if I really feel like I did something wrong, I would reach out and be like, listen, I'm sorry if I did We was communicating enough for her to come and tell me if I did anything.
I think other people could vouch that she did do it.
Or maybe, what did we say on the podcast? Maybe she watched the podcast.
I mean, whatever. I mean,
She
but
didn't like
but
something.
another thing, communication is important.
Yeah.
I'm not Kevin Samuels.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But rest in peace. But I really am how I am. Like, and I didn't learn this just now. I didn't learn this in the past few years or some shit like that. Like, I grew up how I grew up. You know. So at the end of the day,
I'll get you one of those for you. Want a cold?
Nah. I don't want to shock my nerves.
you should have let her
Nervous
reach for
breakdown.
it so you could be on the camera because she's not on the camera.
But if I go over there, I will be.
We gotta learn some structure, yo.
Structure, y'all. Structure,
This
y'all.
shit gotta look pristine.
You gotta start editing again, nigga.
No,
Cut that
no,
shit
no.
out.
That's
Just do right. Just do right.
Just do it.
The fuck?
That's not my fault. He did that. And if I would have, I don't want to be on
I'm
the
saying,
team.
like,
Yeah,
all of us.
that
Like,
was me.
I be fucking up.
That
But
was me.
shit.
I was
But let's-
thirsty. I be panicking like we be
Right,
getting
because
this
he
fucking
said
weed
that
and
right
shit.
and right just interrupt you. You got some water.
Real shit.
Right.
We ain't know if you
Pass the
remember
fuck
what
out.
They
he
like
said.
water. What the fuck? What is
I
that?
need
I
reinforcement.
understand motherfucker look at this shit like,
I
what
need
the fuck?
reinforcement.
But we got, yo, on some real, we gonna look back on this and we gonna be like, nigga, we're awesome.
I know, for real, for real. We be, yo, people be coming up to me like, yo, I heard y'all on the podcast. Y'all crazy. Because it's like,
Yeah.
my boy
Well,
who
it's
just told me,
crazy.
my boy who just drove me up here, he was like, yo, I remember I was watching this shit and y'all was going back and forth. He was like, you know what I love? I love that y'all could go back and forth because I can't argue with people. Like, when people get mad at me, I just want to fight. Like,
But see, that's another thing.
And that's why
growth.
I
That's
don't
growth.
like debating because that's how I feel sometimes too. And I don't be wanting to, because it's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll be going in a circle and you do just be arguing sometimes just because. And it's be
That
like,
went without
you
reason,
agree, you agree, but you're arguing just for argument's sake, and that's annoying. I'd be like,
sometimes.
I be wanting to be like,
Sometimes,
really?
for sure. We gotta make
It's nothing-
discourse.
It's
Put you
nothing
in a
wrong with
submission
discourse. It's nothing wrong with
hold or
discourse.
something.
You could disagree without being disagreeably violent. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King said.
Yeah, I don't say it,
You
but
know,
that's
it's
how I
okay.
feel too. That's why I don't like.
And then another thing is how you grow up. Like, I grew up a certain way, but I'm an adult and I can be respectful. I don't have to be, and that's how I believe that people can change, but you have to want to change. I want to change to become a better version of myself, and that's why I encourage other young men to change or become a better version of themselves.
That's the
Not
problem,
saying that
too,
you have to
because-
be a millionaire, but you should be on your way to try to acquire some type of wealth to break whatever generational curse that you suffer from. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and that's what I be saying. That's why I don't like when we be having a discourse and then you start yelling, because then it makes me and order. That's my natural
wanna fight me,
reaction.
yo?
I start yelling too, and that's not. I'm not supposed to do that because I'm a lady. So
No, women are strong, right?
So you're not. So
Women
I'm
are
not
strong,
supposed
right,
to
Smiley?
yell, and I'm supposed to carry myself and talk
No,
a certain
you gotta
way
be a
and
strong
talk
black
like
woman.
this. But then when
You don't think you're strong?
but then when you start yelling, then I can't get my point out. It makes me frustrated, and then I start to yell, and I don't want to do that. So it's a regression. So I'm trying to
Right.
talk. Like somebody I was talking to one time, like a romantic person
Mhm.
or whatever. I work from home, so one time they were here when I was working, and I answered the phone,
Mhm.
and they were like, why you don't talk to me like that?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I don't be, he's not saying that I be rude to him, but he's saying like the tone of my voice, like
Yeah,
I
it's all
changed the
respectful
whole,
and shit.
it's soft, like.
'Cause I don't
but-
respect
but
you,
the-
nigga.
No, but not even respectful. Like the tone is like, it's just
That's
softer,
respect,
it's more
yo.
feminine.
Talk a
It's
little-
not respect, because I do respect her. I don't disrespect her, but I'm the way I talk, like I talk slang the regular way I talk. I don't speak so proper.
Do
and
you
how
feel-
and the tone of my voice is different. Like I do change, but it's not if it's disrespect, that'll be a whole different thing.
I'm not gonna say
that I just talk the normal way that I talk when I talk to him. I change my voice when I talk to work because I don't talk slang. I might change it a little. Well, people say that.
But why?
I don't like this anyway. But people say I sound white anyway.
But why can't you sound white for him? Why is it so important that you sound a certain way over the phone?
It's my normal voice.
For your man.
I'm just talking in my normal voice.
So why doesn't he hear it?
That's
not
why I
normal.
said when I'm talking to him,
not normal.
That's my normal
When you're
voice.
Comfortable, that's how you speak.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
But what he's saying is he thinks it's sexy that you have respect and you put on for these people.
What he meant.
How
He's
you
not
know
respect.
what?
How you gonna say what? That's not
because I'm a man and I can understand what a man would think.
He's
If
not
I was
saying
saying
it was disrespectful.
I'm just listen.
Because my voice sounds different.
I'll give you that.
But this
More-
is my
more-
normal
I'll give
voice.
you that.
It's hard to talk like
Check
that
this
because
out.
I don't talk like that normally. I don't be rude to him. I don't curse him out.
I understand
don't
that.
yell
And
at
I'm
him.
not saying you're being disrespectful. What I'm saying is he likes the respect that you put to do that job because that's not your normal voice. That's sexy. That's all I'm saying.
I know I'm saying, yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. There are things that I'm trying to change about myself. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like having when I talk to people on a romantic level. If it's someone that I'm actually into, we don't start screaming and shouting at each other. So I don't have to do all the extra stuff and raise my voice and sound crazy or nothing because they listen to what I say. They give me feedback. They don't just dismiss because that's where it comes. If you're dismissing me or if you start yelling at me, then it's triggering and it's hard to not because of how I was brought up. It's hard to not.
But you see how you turn that negative?
And I want to be heard.
I was saying, did you start talking more like how you talk at work to please him? Because if you're not doing that, then why are we going negative? I'm just saying what you could have done positive for him because he said he liked it.
Sometimes I notice when there are times when I'm talking to a guy, like I will soften my voice or sound like but I just.
I'm talking about him specifically though.
Yeah, I already did that, but only in certain instances. Not because it's hard because it's not my real voice. So sometimes if I'm asking for something, or if I'm telling you to do, no, not every time because he was there when I got mad too, and he heard my voice change because I got to ask. He was like, calm down. Or whatever. He was like, it's
how many
okay,
times you get mad at work?
And he probably seen my face too, because if they could see me, I don't have to say nothing. So he seen my face, he was like, damn, they be pissing you off.
You don't get reprimanded for that?
I don't be saying nothing crazy, but sometimes I do get a little snippy because it be ridiculous. Like I try to be as respectful as I can, but like I said earlier, some people just don't listen. Like they'll call and be like, quickly, I'm understand. They'll call and they'll be like, oh, I'm calling to pay my bill or whatever. So then I go pull up their account and give me the information and everything, and I'm like, your account is 30 days past due, so you have to go through reinstatement now. If they don't pay, they have 30 days every month to make their payment. They miss it, the policy automatically lapses, so I can't just accept the payment. I have to ask them some questions and then submit their answers to be reviewed by a supervisor and then call them back once I get a response with what and they have to let me know if I can accept the payment or not. So then the person will be like, oh, well, nobody told me that my payment was due or whatever. And then I'm like, well, that's in your plan documents. Like, we send out the information for everything. It said you have
you ain't get that email
every month. Like, it goes out in the mail. You could also, you know what day your bill is due, so we shouldn't have to tell. I don't say that, but in my head, I be thinking, like, you know when your bill is due. You know you ain't paid. Or if you're paying, that's what happened, the payment didn't go through. When your bank tells you when a payment doesn't go through, it's on your bank statement. So you can sit up here and be like, I don't know, unless you just don't be checking your shit, but then you got money.
So then what after that, what can they do? They
so
just have
I'll
to
explain everything to them and then they just don't be listening. They'll be like, oh, well, that's not fair. You're punishing me. And
yeah,
nobody
you are
told me. It's like, I'm
not
punishing
can
them.
they still pay it after
because
that?
you
They
didn't.
can still pay it late.
You fucked
I just
up.
told you because we gotta ask them the questions, And depending on what we submit the answers to the supervisor, they have to review it. And then when I get a response, I call them back with if I can accept the payment or not. It's not up to me because it's past the 30-day grace period.
Exactly.
And we have to ask them questions. Depending on what their answer is, they might have to fill out another application, or they might get denied or something, or they might need more information. I gotta submit it for review, and I tell them that they don't want to do that. They just want you to accept the payment. It's your fault that you ain't had the money, and then you're not listening. They're like, "Oh, let me talk to someone else because you're not even helping." I'm like, "Man, I am helping. I told you
gotta
exactly
understand,
what
man, statute
you
of
needed to
limitations
do."
and shit. And when you sign this shit, like a lot of people, like that's just the same thing we're talking about. Like a lot of people, you know, they just don't understand because they've been living a certain type of way. They have to be willing to understand and want to actually change, to actually make those steps to become a better version of themselves.
Yeah,
So that's just another example of people not understanding. Yeah, in your work life, it's the same shit. Like people gotta want to become that. But then for men, like we generally just have to understand, like, okay, this is how.
But I do be trying. Like I am doing better. And then they said they be listening to us sometimes. But my stuff is always good. All the calls that they listen to, I get good scores on it. Sometimes they took a couple points off. Like they was like, "Oh, because I was like, I had an attitude on like something like that. Like my tone of voice changed."
Do you know when they recorded you?
No, they can just tap in. But that's why I said I be trying not to. But sometimes they do be getting on my nerve because it don't even be like, sometimes they do be cursing or stuff, but sometimes it don't even be that. It just be
They're acting stupid.
Yeah, like, or I had to, I can't say it. Some of the callers that we have they have a thick accent, and you get a lot of those calls. And I have to repeat myself, no lie, like 5 times in a row, the same question. They ask me the same question over and over because either they don't understand what I'm saying or they understood the words but they don't understand what it means. Their insurance is different over there. A lot of them have free health care or universal health care, so they don't know about a deductible and stuff like that. And then it's hard trying to explain it to them. And then they'll just ask you to repeat it over and over and over. And then it's like, okay, after the 10th time, after the 4th time, you're gonna get a little irritated because it's like, is this a joke? Like, but it's so bad that they actually told us if they're doing that so many times, you can ask to speak to a supervisor to try to explain it to someone else. Just be respectful about it and usually they'll hang up when you do that because they get mad. But it's like,
oh, you go hope to have them on hold.
no, we asked them. We're like, no, they said we can ask them. If you've had to repeat yourself several times and they still don't understand what you're saying and you helped them and you gave them the information but they're not getting it, we can ask them, can we speak to a supervisor, someone else, because you can't understand what we're saying, that we can explain this to. But they'll get mad and just hang up. They won't send us to a supervisor. But we're allowed to do that now. They changed the rules because it's gotten so bad. Everyone gets these calls and they're like, this is ridiculous. Like, I done said this 20 times and you still asking me the same question over and over again.
Yeah. Some stuff, you know. The people that I have to speak to are supposed to be professional people. And those people are the worst people to deal with sometimes. Even they went to school and they get paid the big bucks and they still don't understand why this is not working out. I know you're from the insurance. I know that this is this or whatever, but unfortunately, we can't do this. We need an approval, and you can't give me the approval. I need to get the approval from your boss.
Member. Oh yeah, the same thing. Yeah. People be calling from doctor's office. They work in a doctor's office. You know there's HIPAA.
You don't know your reference guide. You don't know your policies and procedures. This is your job to know this stuff. You're sending documentation to people and looking over people's accounts and having to make sure that they have this and have that. And you don't know what y'all supposed to be doing? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, they'll call in and they'll be like, oh, they don't have a policy number. That's one. They never have a policy number. But the customer never gives it to them. I don't know why, if they told you that they had insurance, why you didn't ask them for their card or whatever. But that's beside the point. So when you finally pull up their account, because now I got to search by name and date of birth, that takes like 5 minutes because that DOS system where you can't click on it with the mouse. It's offline. That's the only way to search it. They don't have the policy number, so that takes a few minutes, and then they don't have. So now you got to verify their address too, and not just their name and date of birth because you don't have the policy number. What's their address? You don't have the address neither. Oh well, unfortunately, if you're not able to come to verify their address on file, I wouldn't be able to assist. So then they're like, oh, but I just want to know. You can't tell me this. No, unfortunately, that's a part of verification. If you had the policy number, then the only thing you would need to verify is their name and date of birth. But since you didn't have the policy number, you need to verify the address is another form of verification.
See, that's the thing.
And then
You
they're
gotta
like,
have
oh,
that.
you work at the doctor's office.
That
you know
patience is the same patience that women should have in a relationship. And that's the problem. They don't bring that patience home. They bring the anger and the complaining home, and then in turn they got a man that's bringing anger and complaining home. It just doesn't work. So men, because we have an understanding and have that understanding of what you're saying, is to understand that they don't understand.
Yeah, and I
Right?
and I know
That's what we have to do.
And people
As
have
men,
said,
we have to understand that they don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that, and they may think, well, he gotta know that. I'm like, yo, it just makes sense for you to do this, and you don't want to do it because you don't want to do it, but that's fine. But if I want this to go on, it can't be a conflict with whatever your flaws are between me getting to what I need to get to. If she looks good, she's smart enough, and she's friendly, then we're good to go. Other things can work itself out. You know what I mean? I would hope that we could make things work. If we can't, then I'll move on. But I'm not gonna treat that girl like SHIT because she's not able to do everything that I want her to do, but the main things that I really care about in a woman are there. You know what I mean? So that's important.
The voice come out, well, not the voice. Like, I think I do talk, the only time that it'd be, or when I'm talking to a guy that, like, cause I don't talk to everybody in that voice, but, like, if I'm telling them a story about something that happened, and I'm, like, just telling them something, then I start talking regular again, and I'll say nigga and stuff, and then they probably be like, but I won't talk like that to them regular. I won't say nigga to them, or, like, if I'm talking, I don't address them that way, or I don't, you know, like, when I'm talking to them, I talk different. But then if I'm telling a story, especially if it's something I'm aggravated about, then I'll be cursing and saying stuff. But I don't know. I'll try.
And see, I don't mind a woman swearing or anything like that, because I swear, you know what I mean? But, like, I just prefer that a woman have a little bit more modesty to herself. I prefer that a woman carry herself a certain type of way when we're around certain people. I love rock music. I like dark music. I like all types of shit. So I could deal with a person that, you know, my female, that likes to go to these type of events and likes this type of humor and likes this type of entertainment or whatever, because those are things that I like. There's people that are in relationships that they're worlds apart. Look at Zendaya and Tom Holland. You know, as much as I really,
well, you said that before,
yeah,
but
she with Spider-Man. Mary Jane and Spider-Man really are together in real life. Great chemistry on set and off set. I appreciate their relationship because it allows you to see, and a lot of guys probably don't like this, but it allows you to see the dynamic of being black and white, and not black and white in racial sense, but black and white meaning opposites attract. He's a person that eats all types of food. She is a vegan. She's black. He's white. Right?
She both.
She's both, but yeah. But there's differences in both their appearance and in both their personality traits, and they love each other, and it's genuine love. You can tell that they really care about each other.
Yeah, they seem like they're both like adventurous people, or like
right.
They're smart.
Bless you.
They both. She's a little different. Like she dances and she does music and stuff too. But they probably, she's like a tomboy, and she's like, so they probably having things in common because of that. Because guys say they don't like Matt. She presents, she's beautiful girl, but I seen her when she was younger. Like she has that like tomboy. She likes to do boy things, like, but sometimes that's attractive to a man too. Like it's like because you have more things in common. Like you like to play basketball or stuff like that, and you're beautiful.
We
and
can bond.
you're,
It's something
yeah,
we can bond on.
Yeah,
Right?
like you like to play
We can
video
bond
games
anymore.
too. Like some people.
I like. I'm very versatile with my personality. I like to do a lot of things. So a lot of times I might meet somebody
Laser
that
tag,
is
go
not
kart.
really. They can't really deal with me because I do a lot. I got a lot going on. So I'm not just like and I be home. I be chilling. I be, you know what I mean. But my interests are so it's so vast. Like I'm interested in a lot of different things, and I engage in a lot of different things. So for them, they might be like, "Where's time for me?" You know, and they might like to do certain things. They might do certain things and have certain interests. That might be one of my interests, but it's not my priority. Like I do certain things, I read, I do all this other shit, but I have to make time for things that I want because I'm taking care of things that I need.
Oh, speaking of reading, real quick, I didn't know that DMX had a book, R.I.P. DMX, and he got an audio book. If you didn't know, go get it. It's called Earl, and it's his autobiography. And I've been listening to the audio book, and it's very.
Did he read it?
No, someone else is doing his voice, but it's funny because he sounds like him.
Oh shit.
But and I think it's the person that interviewed him that's doing the voice, and
Maybe it's AI.
it's very it's a real. It has the person name. I don't remember what his name is, but it's Earl. It's on Audible. Get it. It's his autobiography. I'm still listening. I haven't finished it yet. It's like 8 hours of reading.
How far in?
Probably like 4 because one day I just listened to it for like most of the day because it was very interesting, and it's really I understand why he's the way he is. That's why, or why the way he was like. It's kind of sad, but I didn't get to the point where he's famous yet. This is like in his coming up when he was growing up as a child, and then he's just now becoming adult and he's working on his music now, but he's not famous yet. But it's a good read. I think you should go check it out, and it'll give you a better understanding of who he is and why he was the way that he was.
And if not anything, just probably a reference to help you deal with some of your demons
Yeah.
that you might have.
But
That
he
you
will
might
put
have.
these stories out. He's not the only one that went through stuff like this.
And look at
I'm
who he
sure.
became because
Yeah.
of it. And it says like, you know, pressure makes diamonds like all the time, you know what I mean? A lot of times we go through shit and it makes us a better person. Like this dude, let's just get right into it. The balloon guy. Right. He was
His name's Aaron.
he went to jail. Yeah, Aaron, right?
Aaron
he
with
went
2 A's?
I don't know. But
Aaron. He went to he went to prison or whatever, and he made a comment on one of the podcasts that he was on. Shout out to MTR, where he said he believed it was the best thing that ever happened to him.
A lot of people say that shit.
Prison or going into the military
So how
system.
could you say that?
No, a lot of people have
Yeah.
said that.
Prison or going into the military system.
Prison especially.
Has really changed a lot of men for either the better. It's either make or break you. So either you become a warmonger, you know, one of those super crazy military nuts, and you go hard with it. Nothing wrong with being a part of the military and retiring in the military or whatever. But if you didn't have anything going for you before, then it's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
If you have the other option, you're doing whatever you're doing, and you end up in the street life or whatever, and you end up getting in prison, it can either teach you something. Some people learn a trade, some people take to the books, they learn the law. You know, a lot of people have become really successful from going to prison and changing their life around. Some of the judges that we watched on TV shows were real judges. and real lawyers, and they went through some tough times in their life. Because nobody's perfect. We all go through some stuff.
So what are they laughing at him?
And he also had a
they're not laughing at him because of that, but because of some of the things that he's done. Because it was like mixed emotions for this guy. Because he goes on the show. You watched the clip, right? He goes on the show. The women are decent looking, and
didn't he walk away with somebody now?
He did. But look, he went on the show with all those women, and he made a comment against every woman that popped the balloon, because the woman asked him, kind of baited him into it, and he said, "Well, what do you think about such and such?" Well, she doesn't qualify, or she's not that, or whatever. So he put his judgment on a woman when they popped their balloon or whatever.
That's ego.
You know what I mean? That's ego, right? And stoicism would have dictated him being like, all right, well, you're a beautiful woman and I appreciate your time, and just kept it moving. Because you may get one out of that whole group, but when you're showing all of them that you can't take constructive criticism, it's showing that you can't control your emotions as a man. So where does this lead from this interaction with us? If we were to go serious with this situation, what do I have to worry about? And now knowing that he has a criminal background also, right? He did get success because he got one woman, but that woman turned out to be a gold digger. So he ended up losing that woman, right? Outed her online, got really, famous. But listen, they were calling his job, playing on his job's phone, and
like
supposedly 500 times, supposedly resulting in him losing his job. But he's a plumber, so he was able to get a job, outside of that, or get side work or something like that, which is pretty lucrative in the plumbing world. So he could still get work, he could still build a business for himself. Maybe this will encourage him to do it. And he's got that mentality where he's a go-getter, and he's gonna go out there and he's gonna do what he need to do to get his bag. So he's a pusher. He pushes himself. But the way he carried himself with the women is questionable to a lot of men, because a lot of men are looking at it like, bro, you ain't have to go out like that.
I look at it like this.
Go ahead.
I look at it like this. He, like you said, wasn't expressing stoicism. But at the same time, it's like, that's who he is.
That part.
He can't lie about who he is. That's who he is. If somebody talks about him, he gonna talk back. Because that's how some people were raised.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And even if he does get better in life, that might be the last thing he looks at, just because he's been that way for so long.
That part.
So at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna say
because he's already taking steps to better himself anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even gonna say he was wrong. I'm just gonna say that's who he was.
But then he told the chick, he was like, "I got $100,000 in the bank. Can you say the same?" Like he ain't have to.
He
say
wanted
that.
to play her.
And then,
like I said,
a copy of a receipt
like
came out. He said that was his bank statement, but it wasn't no bank statement. It was a receipt from the company that he worked for, a business card of what they spent for the year at Home Depot or something. So you lied. That's not even. That's a company card, like or whatever. And then you made a GoFundMe page asking for $10,000.
I got responsibilities.
After
so
you said
he did that to himself then.
And then he went to the strip club with the money.
He went to the strip club with the money from the GoFundMe.
He sound like a hustler to me. That nigga said, "Look, I'm going to make bread off this shit."
The only thing that he didn't deserve to lose his job, but
allegedly,
the girls
if he
didn't.
did or not,
yeah, allegedly, yeah. That's what he's saying, but we don't know.
If you spend it at the strip club, then why? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like you needed it. If you spend it at the strip club,
because he made a GoFundMe page.
Even still, you need
but
that money.
$10,000.
If you don't need, that's what I'm saying.
But the only thing that I say, he was being rude, and the girls wasn't. The first girl, she popped her balloon. He asked her why. They said, "Why did you pop the balloon?" And she was like, "Oh, because you're not." Because she was like, "Oh, you're just not my type." But that's gonna happen, or it's possibly gonna happen. Like you come on the show,
everybody don't want you, and there's always somebody better than you.
Yeah, you don't have. And she wasn't rude. That's not rude. She just said she wasn't interested, and she has the right to say that. She didn't talk about how you look or anything. She didn't say it in a nasty tone or nothing. And he's like, "It's all right. You ain't my cup of tea either," or whatever. Then the next girl popped the balloon, and then they said, "Why you popped the balloon?" And she was like, "Oh, because I just didn't like that comment that you gave her or whatever." And because she was like, "I feel like it was unnecessary." And then somebody else popped the balloon.
Now, do you believe that women are
He
coming
said
out?
something to all of them.
Do you
something
believe
slick.
that women are coming out to slander him because he was on that show, because he did that? Or do you think, because that woman said that he stalked her and had a camera in her car and all that?
His
You believe
ex-girlfriend,
that?
Which one?
he
Some
said
other
that
winner?
he did. He went on
He admitted
the camera.
So
Wait, what?
He was on this podcast called MTR, or this YouTube channel, MTR, and he interviewed him.
mediocre tutorial and reviews.
Yeah, he interviewed him or whatever, and he admitted to some stuff. And his ex-girlfriend came out and said he put a camera in her car, and he was like stalking her. Like he was like she said he was like, oh, I wanted to see if you was doing something or what you was doing. I wanted
Oh,
to
he had
see
a
if
camera
you
in the
seen
car.
somebody in the car.
Was
Yeah.
it his car?
I don't know whose car.
I think it was her
It
joint.
was
But
her
she
car.
didn't know that the camera was in there.
Right.
Like
So
he was using
she
it
didn't
to
sue
spy
him 'cause
on
of
her.
that?
And
That's-
no, that was her car.
That was her
And he
car.
put it in her car. And
So
then,
so
she-
that's against the law, ain't it? You can't put no camera in somebody else's car.
Exactly. And she
She
found
could've
out,
said-
and she said he put sugar in her gas tank, and he admitted to having.
And he admitted it.
to
He
not
could be in
about
jail.
the. I don't know about the sugar, but the camera.
Maybe
the
this is
camera
why
in the
he
car.
went to
That's what I'm saying.
jail.
No, that's not what he went to jail
Do you
for.
think
He
that's-
was a teenager
do you
when he
think
went
that's
to jail,
good
and he
behavior
went
for
for a
dudes to be
Craigslist
doing shit like
scamming.
that?
No, this
A
nigga's a
Craigslist-
goddamn criminal. Like, what the
Craigslist
fuck?
robbery. That's what he went to jail
He's
for.
stalking bitches.
A Craigslist robbery.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No, that was his girlfriend, and then when she found out, he was like, I wanted to make sure you wasn't doing something. Like she gonna be fucking niggas
That's
in the
too
car.
But then that's like
And-
insecurity, like, you know, in himself
Yeah.
because of
But, and
what
I
he went
get
through
it,
growing
but
up.
that you can't do that. And then it's like if you behave in this way, because he got really upset and was arguing back and forth with this girl. If you can't handle rejection and they're being respectful about it, then if you get with them, what you gonna do? If I do something you don't like, you gonna go upside my head? Because this
Yeah.
is minimal.
Basically,
Like,
basically, if this nigga would put a cam in your shit, imagine what he would do if you did cheat. Nigga, off you. Off you,
and
like.
that nigga big as fuck.
He look like he rage out.
And yeah, but I don't think he deserves it. If they called his job and made him do his job, that's not right. That's ridiculous. I don't think he deserved
That could have
that,
been a
but
lot
he
for
was
the
an
GoFundMe though.
asshole.
If he's
Because he was
sitting there
being
spending
extra.
that bread at
He was
fucking
doing too much.
strip joint.
And when the girl asked him,
Wow.
is she your type? She's like, no, she not my type. That's all he had to say. He's like, if I seen her on the street, I wouldn't give her a second look. Like, you ain't even have to say all that. She didn't say that to you. Like, so why are that's not attractive.
Because you know what it is? It's like Helga G. Pataki used to shit on Arnold just because she fucked with him, but she would never tell
Yeah,
him
and that's
that.
why I think
'Cause
he's
she
being
didn't know how to
fake.
Pride.
express it.
It's
Yeah,
pride.
and that's why it's corny too.
pride.
Because I feel
It's
like he
prideful.
really would have talked to the girl that they didn't pop the balloon, but because they rejected him, then he want to talk shit.
Yeah, he
I
prideful.
seen another episode where this girl was up there. She got some people popped the balloon on her,
Mhm.
but she didn't. She even complimented some of them after they did it. She ain't.
Right.
Did she? I feel like you know that's what the show is about. So why are you getting mad?
Right,
Not to play devil's advocate, but that girl probably knew she could have got a man just by going outside and saying, hey.
Right.
For that nigga, I don't know, it's probably tough. Especially if
They
if,
might,
if,
chick
if the
might
women
look
just,
at him and be like, yo, he look like he's strong.
for the
Might
bread,
just
I
go
think
with
I think he
that.
gets a lot of females that just are gold diggers.
He be
Probably just-
catfishing.
Might be that.
Oh damn.
Cause he looked better. That's what
That
when he,
over the hat
when he
on.
covered up that hairline.
Damn.
Then he looked better with that.
That's crazy as fuck.
But he too big. I don't
Now-
like that. He too big and short.
I
He
do
was
want to talk
taller and
about
big,
I
but
do
he
want to
was
talk
big.
about Drake, but I'll make that the main.
What if he meant wear platform boots?
I do want
Because
to.
I feel like it looks
Speaking of
weird when you're
platform
that
boots,
buff and
I
you're
do want to
short.
talk
It
about
doesn't
Drake,
look
but
right.
but first, the Tariq Nasheed and Myron Gaines White debate. This dude was really fishing to really
was
get a
fire.
debate with this dude. The dude already cooked him. You know what I mean? In a debate, basically. But like listening to the points that he was making about, you know, we live in a system of supremacy of a sorts. I agree with that entirely. But I believe the understanding of how we achieve success depends on our people, the understanding of where we stand. We need each other.
Yep.
If we use each other to support each other, then we'll be a massive force.
Mhm.
But we get so afraid to do it because of what's happened to our predecessors. Like, man, we don't want to do it because this is the result. But think about our children. Sometimes we might have to be a martyr. We might have to make a sacrifice for the greater good. That's what they did for us.
Mhm.
Some people got to be strong enough to make that sacrifice. How do you feel about the white supremacy debate that you just saw with those two dudes?
I feel like
When
I
he
feel like
said
if
he
we-
don't have the right to speak on it
if we
because
do-
he's from a different country.
Right.
if we do, I agree with that part. I do agree with that part that him specifically doesn't have the right to speak on it because his country isn't a thriving country. So how are you going to talk about another country that you came to
Because he
for
was
a better
born
life?
here, supposedly.
Even if he was
But
born
he's
here,
not a
right?
foundational black. So what Tariq Nasheed is saying, like foundational black, meaning you taking the time to learn your lineage, and you my family was born here, we were slaves here, we've been here all this time, we was from Virginia, and we got plantations that we should have ownership to. If you know that, then that is a different discussion for you altogether. You have the right to have that discussion. You're in the house. So how, if I'm not in the house, I can't have that discussion? What he's saying is that, okay, there were disadvantages for people that were here. Speaking on it, I can speak to a point disregarding my position in the matter. I can still speak to it because I don't have any children. I can't speak on what bad parenting is. That's bullshit. I should have a right to speak on something despite my position in the argument if I believe that something has moral value or it has a point that deserves discourse. And especially if you're a black person, you're a part of it. You're not the foundational black, but you're black. You're affected by it. You get treated the same way that those foundational blacks get treated.
I think the only thing that you can say if you're going to speak on it from the outside in is positive.
Okay.
As soon as you go negative, then it's like, yo, you're not helping, you're criticizing. If we need help, then there's other ways to say it that's not coming off as offensive.
Right.
But when you're defending the KKK and you're you know what I'm saying? Now you're just being disrespectful.
Self-hate.
You're not really.
It's self-hate.
Yeah.
And he said that black people are lazy.
So you got to think about it. So he's what a real African American is because he's from Africa. He has African descent, like really still right now, and he's born in America. Right?
And us and the people that are here are questionable. Even the people that consider themselves to be foundational black. Did you actually check your lineage to see that you're actually of that descent? And then you would have to know you could be Dominican and never knew.
And
Shit, I'm Dominican.
But I think if you're dark-skinned Dominican, you're still black. I mean, more.
I mean, you could say,
you
yeah.
Like Amara La Negra.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl.
Or Fatima Diallo.
She's beautiful as well. Both of them very, very beautiful. But that's what I'm saying. It's like there's women out there that are Dominican, are all from these Jamaican, different places. You know what I mean? Tropical places that's considered black for real. That's why it's like, yo, I know, you know what I mean? Not everybody's spiritual.
But
yeah,
they're
exactly.
still under a system of white supremacy because
exactly.
Tariq Nasheed's argument is it's not just United States, it's global.
100%.
It's affected globally.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
And to add to his point, it's like, yo, damn, I just forgot my goddamn point. But to add to his point, I think if
Because he's saying we're not oppressed. That's Myron Gaines' stance.
Who's saying?
Myron Gaines' stance, the Fresh and Fit dude, is his
ignorant.
stance is that black people are not oppressed.
That's ignorance.
You
I
know
think
what I
the
mean?
oppression changed,
Right.
but we're still oppressed.
It's more
You see what I'm
challenging
saying?
for us to be
still
what what they would consider as successful.
Bro, we got two
Because
presidents.
we're not a monolith society of people.
We have two presidents that we have. This is the only two people we could choose. One, his son did some wild shit, had a gun, and is convicted felon, right? And he's half out the door as far as mental capacity. Like, he's literally up there saying gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Then the other one is another one convicted guilty, and of what? Like treason? Like it's some old wild shit. Like he had a whole army of niggas dressed up in patriotic colors storm the White House.
He didn't have them do that. Don't say that. Like, I hate when
He
they
got
say
charged
that.
for it. That's what he got charged.
Yeah,
He got
the
charged for it.
nigga wasn't like,
that's what
alright,
he's
look,
in
he
prison
wasn't
for.
like-
I didn't even know.
yeah, like,
That was game.
Come on, my nigga.
That was game.
Cause I'm so
The
over
dude-
the
That wasn't
politics.
just
the
no regular
dude was
people.
just the
They
dude.
all full of
the
crap.
dude was just in a
He
position
did tell them.
where he was able to say shit
Thank you.
and people follow what the fuck he said, but he did never
Nigga
say,
set himself
if you
on
want to do
fire.
this, storm the White House and make change for yourself. He never said that. So like
Remember
people
the dude
saying
set
that
himself on
perpetuating this-
fire?
Yeah, he asked that motherfucker to do no shit like that. The motherfucker took that upon himself, crazy ass motherfucker. And he was a supporter, like crazy shit, yo, like
For all we know,
on some real
for
shit.
all we know, this nigga might be the fucking Joker. Remember when Dick
Yeah.
Gregory used to say he was two different peoples with the red tie and the blue tie? The nigga might not have been bullshitting, yo. It might have been.
I don't know.
It might have been a good Trump and a bad Trump. Yo.
I think Trump is hilarious. I think we will never. I don't think in my lifetime I'm never gonna see a this type of black
No,
president
ever.
ever. But I would want to encourage my children in the future to always excel to the best of their ability. If you want to run for president and get in some political type of
Would you
shit, run
vote
for
Kanye?
city hall,
Would
do that.
Would you vote for Kanye?
Yeah. I mean, yo, as crazy as it sounds, man, what he's doing and all
You
this.
say you ain't doing it.
I would do it, man. I need
I
to
don't
know.
think
I need to
Real
know
change.
that we're really gonna give black people opportunity.
I will hope that we didn't fuck up.
I don't
We
want
might
it to be
fuck up.
him.
I don't vote for him.
I would want it to be
I
somebody.
might have
Like
to
you
vote
could
for
say
that.
anybody else black, and I probably would. But I'm just saying, the same reason that they probably voted for
Would
fucking
you vote
Obama.
for The Rock?
Yeah, I vote for The Rock. What? He's the people's champ.
Okay.
I would vote for The Rock.
I don't vote for nobody.
I
Haven't voted since
I mean, look,
Obama became.
I do want
No, you
to,
felt
like,
like
I
you
do
got
want to
duped.
encourage.
You've been hooked.
I do want to encourage
Been
people to
bamboozled.
exercise their right
Shout
to
out to
vote,
Donald
but I
Well,
also
the
want
reason
people to
why I
understand
don't
the power of
is
the
because I
electoral.
think it's a load of crap, and I think they're gonna do.
Well, it's
more.
dictated
I
by the
think
majority of the
president is
state.
actually just a face, and there are people that are working behind the scenes who actually control.
That's true
everything.
too.
They're just the
They're the
scapegoat.
puppet.
So whatever goes wrong,
Right.
they blame it on them.
Right.
But I don't think they really
That's
have
a
as
part
much
of it.
power as they.
But
make
but
us
I'm
believe.
gonna tell you, the people do decide. So if the people did have an opportunity to get someone of color in there that they really felt confident in, they would do it. We can't even get all together and support a black president. The black president,
And I think they don't.
the
have
person
anybody
in
office
Florida,
if they
nobody
don't
wanted him
want
because they said he was racist.
I think it's all set.
You know
up
what I
from
mean?
the
And he's
beginning.
black, and nobody wanted him to be the president. And he's a black
Because he's still black.
I think it's-
congressperson.
I
He
think
said
it's
he's
all
still an
set
N-word.
up
Right.
from the beginning. Like this, there's not. They make us think that our vote count, but this is already planned.
No,
they
but
know
the
who's
people-
going
the
to
niggas
be
are
the next
selected.
president
People-
the niggas are
before-
The
selected.
yeah.
people
Right,
do not
right.
support him. His own people do not support him.
Yeah, 'cause he black.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's
his
still.
own people
You
don't
know what his
support him.
purpose is? His purpose is, yo, we're gonna have him. We're gonna say we as a party aren't racist, and we're gonna have him run for whatever. But people don't support him because he's black.
Yeah, they just
But
got
he's still there.
Clinton Bigsby and have him run for the
Yeah,
damn
he's
senator
still
and
there.
shit.
He's there for a
Yeah,
laugh,
it's
you
just
know.
crazy, and that's terrible.
He's there
That's
to
terrible.
sit in the
Because
seat.
we
You see what I'm
can't
saying?
get together and appoint somebody, or we can't get together and say
bro.
we want somebody to be our leader. And we
Bro.
have examples of people that have worked so hard to get to that level, and we don't have enough confidence in them for them to do that because their ideas are so fucking crazy.
That's
Like
it.
the shit, they don't want to do shit for black people. They want to do shit for white people. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is to change it, we got to change the whole structure on why on who's running it, and that's a civil war, bro.
But they said white supremacy. I think that's
That's a civil
on
war.
everything. So they control who becomes the president. I feel like it's set
Yeah.
up from the
Oh, yeah.
beginning. That's
You gotta-
not our
yeah.
vote. That's
Destroy
it's
this
BS.
shit. That's
I
what
think
I'm saying.
it's already planned out from they're
Hypothetically, I'm
born.
not
They're
saying
born
we
into
would.
the
I'm
family
just saying.
that's already have this planned out. It's the next generation, or your other parent. Somebody was in politics. Somebody in your family is famous or something. Like it's always this is all set up.
So
It's
you
all set
think?
up.
So here's a
Because it's
conspiracy
white
for you.
supremacy.
Do you
They're
think Kamala
controlling
Harris?
it all.
Do you
That's
think
So
Kamala
even
Kamala
if
Harris
it
was
is
a
a
plant?
person of
Do you think
color,
Kamala Harris was a plant?
even if it is a person
Kamala
of
Harris,
color, they
yeah.
still
You think
have
she was a
to.
plant? Okay.
Even if it is a person of color,
You know
they
why?
still have
You ever see
to.
Fruitvale Station? My bad.
I've seen
Even if it is a person of color, they still have to abide by the whites or the head, whoever they is, the person on top of them. There's someone on top of them. There's a set of rules and obligations that they have to follow.
Right.
So regardless of what color they are, they put them there to make us believe like, oh, we're being inclusive. She's on your side, and it's like,
But
no,
only
she's
certain
not.
people are
Because-
even going to get an opportunity to get in there.
Because they gotta
first
be
place.
able to play ball. They gotta
Right.
be able to follow the rules
Right,
and listen to what
right,
they say.
absolutely.
But that's not that's no
That's what I'm
benefit
saying.
in it.
So
to
what
us.
they're saying about us people coming together is us establishing our own forms of government. You know what I mean? And the government will try to infiltrate us. They're gonna try to get other people to decoys that look like us to come in there and infiltrate it and try to mess it up. But we gotta be able to stand firm and avoid those things. And we're gonna have losses. But we're gonna have to think of this for a future thing. Is this going to be something that's going to help us in the future? So we have to make those initial steps. It's a scary thought, but then it's like, if you do this, it'll be better for you. Or if we, at least when we create our businesses, that we support them. Hey, their cupcakes suck. The frosting tastes like shit, but so what? I'm going to buy them anyway. I'm going to buy a dozen of them. And you know what? Why I'm at it, I'm going to tell other people that they suck, but you should buy them.
Like that lady from the.
Teach them to be better. Tell them about the quality of their frosting. Your frosting sucks.
Black-
Fix your frosting.
I don't think black people gonna
She
take
like,
that
I
loss.
used my yeast infection like that lady.
Oh,
Then her husband, she made some cinnamon rolls, and
That's
then she
crazy.
got the white on her tongue, like the reaction from it. Then she got it on her tongue. 'Cause
You know what we could do, y'all? Got it. We could all learn voodoo. Right? Check this out.
You crazy?
Check this out. Look, y'all wanna know how we really defeat them, like, right? We all learn voodoo, and then we put spells on them. But then we gonna have to decipher who's who, because if we put spell on the wrong person, and that person's going, you know what I mean?
We're gonna have to keep a picture of
You
them
gotta
in a
get the
shoebox or something.
dolls.
I think we're gonna have to do our research, just like
You
everything
gotta
else.
make the voodoo dolls.
I
You're
don't
crazy.
support
Chris.
that one.
What you mean, how am I crazy? Y'all said y'all want to have a revolution, right? We got to do it different than we did it
You
before.
need a revolution.
I ain't even saying we gotta
And
do
it has to be
different.
impossible. And we have to have some
We can
secret
still do it
weapon.
the same way we
No,
did
we
it
can't.
before.
We have to use
No,
some
we
secret
could.
weapon.
We can still do it the same way we
No,
did
we
it before.
can't because we're on their
But we-
territory now. We're not on our
But we
territory.
can still do it the same way we did it before. But we would have
Do it
to.
how we did it
We
back
would
in
have to be more
1990.
organized. We have to be more organized and understand the errors of the way that we've done it
They're
before.
gonna see us as a terrorist threat. They're gonna assassinate our character.
It's chestnut checkers.
They're gonna
You know what I mean?
assassinate
Gotta be
our
gotta be
character
strategic.
on the media. They're gonna say, "Oh, these terrorists are trying to destroy the infrastructure of the
Yeah,
world."
there's
and blah,
gonna
blah,
be
blah.
that. There's gonna be a whole
Real
bunch
shit.
of shit.
And people are gonna
They gotta
believe
be
it
painted as
because,
the narrative.
especially if it's all black people.
And
It's
we
all our
only have to show positive
Oh, it's-
examples of our cause. Positive examples meaning,
Bro, there
getting
is
breakfast
too
for
much.
these
There is
kids,
too much.
all of this.
There is too
and try
much.
to keep your nose
There
clean.
is too
Don't
much
get into no scandals
There's
outside of that
too
shit.
much interracial marriages and relationships
Chris.
for that to be a possibility.
You can't say that.
I can't say that because it's true. I'm just saying in America.
I don't think you can say it on
listen,
YouTube,
listen. In America as a whole, there is like black people that are having sex and having babies with white people, and it's accepted. right? So there's a lot of it. So how are you gonna go to war with a race if you're having sex and having babies with this race? You're not gonna want to do that. So this is what I'm saying. That's things that you have to think about. If there is a war that has to happen, like, yo, there's a lot of mixed people here, bro.
Chris, you can't say that though.
What can I say?
Your child, you.
We
Can't
all
say
have mixed blood inside of us, but
yeah, but
you see what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Everybody don't look mixed. If you look mixed, then you're mixed. So you can't. If you ever dated someone that was like that, then you could change your mind and say, but I don't think you can say that because you did it. So how you gonna? I mean, you're not married, but you did that. So you can't say that unless you say, oh, you changed your mind now. Now you don't want to.
I'm going off the 12 tribes of Judah. I don't care about that other shit, like, oh, mixing. Like, as long as you're under the 12 tribes, then it don't matter. You could be mixed in that, or whatever you is, you're still the lost Israelites, basically. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm going off of. So I can't really, like, certain people aren't in the 12 tribes. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about them. I'm saying you can't mix with them and, like, you know what I mean, freely and understand that, yo, these are the people that might not make it to the Holy Land or aren't chosen by God to do anything.
Or they're not chosen because they're white.
I don't know why they're not chosen. Maybe they're not chosen because of how they are, morality-wise, or how they were made.
But you're talking about color. You're changing it because you said they weren't chosen.
They weren't chosen.
So why weren't they chosen?
It doesn't matter. I just don't, because they weren't chosen.
You're saying that you linking it to their color.
Yes. No, I'm saying, but yes, they weren't chosen because they're not the real. But see, now we're going down that because we start talking about who
they're still affected under
we
the
are
of white supremacy.
What I'm saying is exactly, but what I'm talking about is who we are is allegedly another group of people that run everything, and I'm saying it's the reason why we can't say we're all alike because y'all are doing this to us, and allegedly y'all went through some things that were horrible. So you should understand as that people, without even connecting it to that, you know, religious stuff, you should understand as a people to not justify other people or not, you know what I mean, be racist to other people. But if you're in entertainment and we're all the entertainers and you're the bosses and we can't be the bosses, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people that's keeping us down, so you can't just say, okay, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna love this person because they love me. Nah, there's consequences with loving people. There's consequences where we're intermingling with certain people. You see what I'm saying? There's consequences.
So how do we become successful outside of that?
We stick to our own. We're not successful outside of that.
My husband
we're
might be a white man,
inside of
so
that.
I'm open.
And I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, if there is some type of civil war, you're fucked and your kid is fucked because the kid is both sides. You don't know which way the kid is gonna go.
But that's what I'm saying.
If it happens, I'm not saying.
I know that it exists, but I'm not gonna use that as I'm a victim of it probably, but I'm not gonna use that as an excuse for me not to do what I need to do. I just know that the disadvantage for
loving somebody is
the
not
challenge,
what you need to do.
The disadvantage for the challenge of what I need to attain in life is that because I might be black, I might not be able to get certain things until I achieve a certain level with my score or something like that. And my family didn't have the best track record with their credit, so I'm a victim of that. And I have to break that curse in order to start another generation with better advantages in society. And that's where I see it as. I don't see it like black, white, or anything like that. I see it as just like, these are disadvantages that we have culturally, and the reason that we haven't been able to surpass that is because we haven't figured it out, where other cultures have figured it out. Tariq Nasheed figured his shit out, so we need to figure out what the fuck he figured out so we all could do that shit.
You don't think we figured it out? What validates you figuring it out? Money?
Your family being straight. And,
Family
and
being
whatever that
straight,
constitutes
financially.
could mean that you guys have land, you guys have farms.
So you have to have value to
people
have
that
land, farm,
are
whatever.
a family of doctors,
Okay.
or you have a firm and you're hiring your son or you're hiring your daughter. You can exercise nepotism, but you got into a point in life where you can pass the torch to someone. That is what I'm talking about. You got to get to that point. That may include you getting some boost in finance, but it doesn't mean millions of dollars. It could mean you just being 100,000 a year or something like that, because now you worked so hard to become a doctor, but you had the disadvantages of your culture becoming a doctor because you didn't have enough money to go to med school. You didn't have the best schooling or whatever. You went to a public school, so you had to get picked to go to Yale. You had to be on this. You had to get a high score on the SAT. You kept taking it until you did get that, so you can get accepted, so you can get a scholarship. Otherwise, you're paying back student loans that you're never going to be able to pay on. So it took you 2 decades to become the department head at a facility before you decided to open up your own urgent care and hire all your children. But that took you about 40 years to do all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the disadvantage is time. We're not gonna be here forever. So we gotta figure the fuck out right now. How do we get to this shit right now so our kids don't have to suffer and take up our stress from what we had before, and they can carry on the legacy without having the stress that we have to build it.
So you minus that time from the time that you spend.
That time is on you right now, kind of.
No. What I'm saying is, if you're getting to the bag, you minus that time from the time that you spend with your kids and your family, because you gotta get that.
Right, it's sacrifice, yeah.
Okay. So how much time does that validate before it becomes a problem? Like you're never there.
It shouldn't, because there should be a level of understanding in the nuclear family. The mom is holding things down. Hey, your daddy has to work, to give us what we need, and and make them understand and help and still encourage the children to love their father, despite how hard it is for him, because he's taking care of the household outside of the house.
I mean, that's still. I agree.
I'm not gonna be a stay-at-home dad.
Listen to what I'm saying. I agree that a man has to go out there and work. I agree, and I agree that the children have to understand that the pop's not going to be there as much if he is a working man. But to say that if there is an issue with the child, like feeling like, yo, daddy, like I know my dad is not spending enough time with me. That is a long time before a child. Just me having a child, knowing, like, not being right in front of her face, and you know what I'm saying, just because you see the dynamics. Sometimes children don't like to go to the other parent's crib. They like to stay at the parent's crib that they're most comfortable at.
That's co-parenting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Not nuclear family. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, just in general, sometimes it's just different dynamics for what's supposed to be, but it veers off because of circumstances.
That's on the parents.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of times it doesn't work out. It's not the kid's fault, obviously, and the parents need to communicate with each other to make it work for the children. They have to sacrifice within themselves. So, essentially, if the man knows that he can salvage it, he should stay put, do what he got to do for the kid until the kid's old enough to realize, and make your move at that point. When they're a little kid, you know what I mean? You made your bed, you gotta lay in it, and you gotta stay there. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't have kids, so it's easier said than done, but it's essentially that's the way I want to move. Like,
can I ask you two not two questions, but a two-part A or B type shit, right? So let's say you had to choose, right? Into choice A will be raising 2 kids, not really being too much there in their life, and you find out one of the kid is homosexual, and one of the kid is into gangs and shit, right? Or
you said into gangs?
Gangs, like street fighting gangs. One is homosexual, one is into gangs, right? Or you get to be there. Let's say you go from a a job that you could have made $90,000 a year, right? And instead of doing that job, you was like, fuck it, I'm going to do my business because, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I could, yeah, it's gonna be a slow roll and I'm not gonna get as much, but I'm more in control of that. And I have more time to spend with my family. And then you're there to basically help grow up your children. But you gotta take that pay cut. But you're in your own business. So what would you do? Would you take the pay cut and be there to make sure that your kids is good? Or would you just be like, yo, the money is more important and I could make more kids and do it different later, yo? What would you choose?
All right, so I guess the best answer for, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I don't know if other men can relate, but I guess the best answer for me is to do what I feel is best for the family.
Okay.
If I'm the only one making money and I want my kids to go to college and I want them to have the best advantages in life that I didn't get when I was whatever, then I would have to make the sacrifice to be able to help them attain those things. And I think as the leader of the household, I'm gonna have to think about what is more important. Is it more important for me to be here all the time, or is it more important that you go to college? Your mom is gonna do all the helping you ride your bike and spending time with you and saying good night and tucking you in because I'm not here, but I gotta be on the road. But I'm here when I can be here, but I'm not here as much. But the fact that I'm here, not here because of productive reasons, should be something that be explained or something that a conversation we have with the child so that we can go over those points. So it could feel like it can feel like the children understand that the love hasn't changed, but I still have to work. I still have to do what I have to do. And they're not gonna understand it. They're not gonna see it. So all the taking them to school and all that, that's between 1 and 5. You know what I mean? That's, mommy's gonna be doing all that. You know what I mean? If she's at home. And all the stuff after that, like the discipline and structure, that comes from daddy. So now I'm teaching them all of these things. Put your toys away or whatever. So daddy is already the bad guy now.
So you're not taking no pay cut? Is what you're saying? You're taking a 90,000 straight up.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's coming from a business mindset. That's why I said I can only speak for
guys
me.
go to work and still drop their kids off at school.
Right.
Sometimes.
I could take the money. I could take the money and still be able to perform, whatever I'm supposed to do for my business and keep my business going. The objective for me is to provide and to protect. So I feel like my family is not protected if we're not financially secure. There's a lack of protection.
You don't think your family's not protected if they were raised?
No, I'm talking about my family's not protected if we're not financially secure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
raising
both situations, you're financially secure. You're just not making as much.
Nah, when you running if your business is already making money, if you start a family, then your business should already be good.
That's what I'm saying. You're making money. You're just not making as much.
If 90,000 a year is better than your business, then yeah, you should take the 90,000. Your business should be making more than $90,000 a year.
But then that.
But if your business is not making 90,000 because you use a number. So I'm saying if your business is not, and that's why I said I'm only gonna look at it from my perspective. So I'm saying like if you're only making $90,000 a year at this new thing and you got a business, don't you think it makes sense for you to entertain the $90,000 a year?
Not at the cost of my kids being
it's not at the cost
either
of
gay
kids.
or in a game.
It's not.
That was a scenario.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're trying to change it.
I'm not trying to change it.
I asked you a question and you didn't answer it.
How?
You didn't say any.
That's so if they do that, that's gonna. I'm confused.
I'm saying that
if I take
listen.
I'm
gonna say it
if I
again.
took the $90,000, I'm not gonna be home.
Exactly.
Oh, and then
so they're not going to be raised properly.
Continue my business.
And then
you're
because they're
gonna
not
be home though.
That's not the scenario.
You're gonna live there.
What I'm saying is that's not the scenario. You're not home to the point where yo, you're going for.
I'm on business
let's
trips.
say, yeah, you're on business
You
trips.
didn't give all of that.
I'm saying you're not home.
I'm not home enough, but I'm working.
You're just working the
So my
majority.
business,
You're
I'm
not
not
home.
home.
My
business, I'm not home either.
Your business, you are home because it's your
I'm home
home business.
sometimes.
You're in the business. You can have the kids there helping you. In the scenario, either
Sometimes I won't be though, right?
no, Smiley.
I'm
not in
always
my
home?
scenario, Smiley.
Oh, and
Smiley, not in
this
the scenario.
I'm working hard. I got a business, but I'm always home.
Smiley, you have two options. Two, not anything else. Two options.
I hear you.
One option is if you have the time to raise your children properly. And that's just whatever number you think that is. That's the number it is.
So it's
right?
more than 90,000. So then I'm just gonna say.
Listen, I said the time. I didn't say the bread. I said the time. You have the time to raise your children properly. Not the money. You have the time. Money financially. Let's say you're making 60,000 from your business, and in that 60,000, you have time to spend with your children. Now, on the other hand, you could be making 90,000. But if you make this 90,000, your child is either homosexual and the other child is in a gang. And that's the scenario. Which one would you choose?
Why are you making?
Why?
Like
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why.
Right.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you why. I want to see what values more to Smiley, the money or the properly raising of his children. That's why I want to see why he says his answer, and I want everybody to see that's how he conducts himself. Because guess what? Some women might be looking for that. Right? Some women.
Crazy.
Nah. How am I crazy? That's
crazy.
how.
What you just said just sound crazy as fuck.
How? A woman might say, "Yo, fuck that." At least he's honest. Some niggas will lie and be like, "Oh yeah."
Hey. I'm gonna answer your question.
So you're saying he's not that you think he's gonna say he's
I
not?
don't know what the fuck he's gonna say.
Bad. No,
I want to know what he's gonna say.
Because I'm bad if I say I'm gonna take the $90,000, but I'm making $50,000 with a business that's not really successful. 60,000. Okay, I'm sorry, 60,000.
And that's
$30,000 more that could.
I don't know. If it's my own business, I'm making 60 a year. I think that's success. I think that's success. Depends on what you're trying to do.
It's successful to a degree if you're able to take care of yourself.
I'm not making 60,000 right now a year.
You take those trips.
You know what I'm saying?
They can have more kids. They can have more land. We can
have
more.
Each kid you have, you need at least another
It's
20,000.
subjective.
If you have another kid,
A little
at
bit
least.
more. It's a little bit wiggle room. It depends on, like I said, and I heard what you said the first time. I'm only gonna look at it from my perspective. So my perspective with a business mindset, I'm gonna look at all of the factors that play with it. Now you gave me a monetary value. So you're saying my business is making $60,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Would I stay home?
And
now you give me that. I guess I would stay home if I'm making $60,000 a year
a lot of sense
with my business, because I'm gonna eventually make more than 90,000. But if you just like gave me like this 90,000, like this is like end all be all, like what the fuck am I doing? $90,000 and I'm never home. Like that's crazy. Like what kind of job is that? I'm never home. Where the fuck am I? $90,000 a year?
You're not there. Like
that's a terrible fucking job. Like what the fuck? Do you really realize that that's a really
figures yet? So that's
a terrible fucking job. Anything that you're doing making like what I'm saying, like the Scrum Master shit I was talking about earlier. You can still dictate your time. So you would be making a good amount of money, but you can still take care of your kids. So the money shit, like I mean, we try to say like the money's not important, man. We need to really acknowledge like how important it is for you to thrive in this capitalistic society unless you make your own society. What we're talking about is the real and now is like, yes, if you go outside and you need to get somewhere, you should have a car, right? I've been a nomad for how long? And sometimes people be like, damn, you went all the way there. Nigga, I went to the football game in a fucking Lyft. You know what I mean? And had a hard ass time getting fucking back. And I was like, yo, next time I'm gonna take the train or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was too much. But even with that situation, I still recognize that you're dictating the situation that you put yourself in a lot of times, 9 times out of 10. you can change the narrative
You
if you
can
want to
be.
change the narrative. If you want to do something different, then you can do something different. It doesn't have to necessarily be cookie cutter. But everybody wants to, you know, this is the way that it should be because this is the way it's been done for hundreds of years. Not necessarily true. Then sometimes we do say, yeah, if it ain't broke, fix it. Everything's fucking broke. You know what I mean? Everything's broke. So we're trying to get it back to the way it was. And certain things that I'm saying is there was a way that men carried themselves that helped them attract the other sex. And I think women still want that, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So what I'm saying is understanding, okay, women need to change. So what we can do is we can get them, hey, this is what you need to do. If you're not doing it, then I'm out. When they see that we're the prize, because if you're looking for me,
You doing that, right?
I am the prize.
I'm doing that. Who not doing that?
That has to be the narrative though.
You know who's not doing that? The niggas that can't. That's the only niggas that's not doing that, Smiley. Is the niggas that can't do that. We can't motivate. We could try, but we can't make a nigga have confidence. It's either he got it or he don't.
That part, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why I don't even, if I notice that you're lacking those things and I don't feel like you're masculine and you're doing, I don't even
It's
bother
on to the
because I don't
next.
want to
It
force
don't matter.
myself to like
It
you.
don't matter.
I can't try to change you.
Exactly.
So it's
I
like,
think
Just
they-
like we were talking about before.
I
Like
think they need to
it's
be,
who you
they need to be
are.
honest though. Oh, go there.
You know her.
You
I
gave
give
it
it to you. I give it to her.
Oh, you gave her.
Y'all
Yeah,
high.
you
Y'all high like me, man.
just. I mean,
Get lifted.
you gotta like. I guess you really just gotta understand
Pop out your show,
that.
niggas.
You gotta pop out the show, niggas. And you gotta like really just like. You gotta have a good space in yourself to really value yourself. Like sometimes it's good to reflect and be by yourself for a little bit and let it come to you so that you can start to go out with yourself, do things with yourself, express, spend time with your loved ones or whatever. And then when you felt like you loved on yourself enough, now you can let somebody love you because you know what it feels like. You know how you need to be loved. You know what I mean? Because I go out there and a person is not giving me the attention that I've been getting from the people that I've been around, then I feel like you don't deserve me. Because these people I put my life on the line for, and they give me that same energy.
But that's what I mean.
I'm
though,
willing
like,
to try to do this with you, then you have to show me that energy.
when
And
you
that's putting your best foot
when you
forward.
say you deserve things, do you acknowledge that you don't deserve things too?
Absolutely.
So with not deserving things, some people
Maybe
don't
I
have the
deserve
mindset that yo, I don't deserve to be single, or I don't deserve to not be getting catered to in a certain way because of the type of person that they are. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that shit validates a person that knows what they want, wants what they want, versus a person that's gonna let it come to them. Right? What do you think about that?
I think
He wasn't man
If
enough for me.
if a person is, I'm high as fuck.
I know, me too.
I think if a person,
Somebody commented? Who's that? What do they say?
Somebody commented?
Oh, I think they said something.
No.
Might have been a Russian.
Yo.
A Russian.
I said it might have been it. I don't know. I was just watching a Russian girl on Netflix today.
Wait, ask me that question again.
Good question.
Yo.
Yo, what was we talking about? Oh no, I forgot, bro.
You said you was talking. No, nobody put no comment.
Oh, I just
You said you asked him about
it's going.
when would he pick.
No, it was after that.
Oh, then he said about there needs to be more stone.
Yeah, definitely after that. Damn.
Oh, you said you want to be, you gotta love on yourself and
Oh,
spend
yeah.
time
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
and
yeah.
get yourself,
Right.
so you could know what it feels like to be loved, and
Right.
then go back out there. And if they're not giving you the same treatment that you've already experienced or how you love yourself, then you don't
did.
entertain it.
Right.
Shit. And I said, my question was, if you know what you deserve, you also know what you don't deserve.
Right.
And don't you think you don't deserve to be single?
Don't deserve to be single. So I think that's a question more suited to a person that worries about
Not worrying.
relationships.
Just don't deserve.
Because like because like if
Because
you
of what you deserve.
because I can only answer that question if it relates to me though.
But you said that you do things for what you deserve, right?
So if I'm trying to be with somebody, then I won't be single. Right?
Not that. I'm saying you do things for what you deserve, right? To validate, yo, I deserve this. You don't mind doing things to get that validation.
Okay. All right. I see
So
where you're going
it's
with
the
it.
same thing with being single. If
So if I want to be single, go date, go do this, go do that.
no, I'm
that
just
type
saying
of
you deserve to be with a woman that's gonna cater to how your lifestyle is. But
Right.
you have to have that mentality. If you don't
shit.
feel
Yeah,
like
but
you deserve
I
it,
mean, but that's saying in the sense like, okay, a woman comes along, I entertain it and see where it goes.
mhm.
That means that the woman comes along. That means that I'm
That
going
sound-
out to events or going to the club.
that sounds
or
like a
whatever.
burden to
Usually
me.
when I go out and I do it, it is a burden because
And-
like
and
it's
that's-
like
that's-
you
that-
have to
That's
put
not
yourself
the
out
best
there.
parts
But
of.
if you don't, because we're the hunters. If you don't put yourself
But
out there,
yeah,
then
that's-
you're never gonna meet anyone.
Listen to what I'm saying.
If that's really what you want to do, if you
You're-
really want to get out there and you want to date people, then get out there and date people.
Check this out.
You're not gonna date people from not being. I mean, you can do the online dating thing,
No,
but you're
check
not
this
really
out.
gonna
Check
meet
this-
anybody
check
unless
this
you
out.
put
Check this
yourself
out.
out there.
Check this out. We meet people in the wrong places because we'll go to these clubs and we'll go to these bars, and that's not really.
You might
really,
meet the wrong
That's
person
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
wrong place.
Check this out.
You might meet
If-
the wrong person in the. You might meet the right,
Check this
right
out.
person.
Check
in the
this
wrong
out.
place.
If it is as easy as attraction, right? And I'm not speaking for nobody else but us, me and you, right? So let's say we're going into a place like Target, right? A place like Target. If a woman is attracted to you, as long as you don't go up to her on some disrespectful shit, as long as she really didn't give up completely on dating or you know what I mean, trying to, you know what I mean, further a relationship with a man, y'all gonna interact, y'all gonna talk. But if we're not going to the supermarket for that, and we're saying, oh, let's just let it come to me, that goes against our nature because we're hunters. Since when we gotta wait for the food to come to us? That don't make no fucking sense.
Listen,
That don't make
This
no
is where
fucking
confidence
sense.
comes into play. Number one, if I go into a place and I'm going to the bank or I'm going to the supermarket to get my food and shit like that, I'm not in there being thirsty. I'm not in there trying to bag every single chick that I see. It's a lot of attractive women that's in Walmart and all that type of shit. That's again stoicism. Women are attracted to the dudes that, damn, she knows she look good. Like, oh, how you doing, man? I mean, you know, she say something back. We like, oh, what you shopping for? If you feel like you want to engage, you decide what you want to do.
And
You're
that's
the
my
prize, so
point.
you decide what you want
That's
to
my
engage.
point.
If you don't engage
you decide
in it,
what you
right,
want to do
and if
and
you
how
don't
you're gonna
engage
do
in
it.
it, then you keep it moving. If a woman approaches you when you in the mall and she look good or she say something to you, then you can you treat it a different type of way. But it's not like everybody's going out, everybody's like, oh damn, look, she got the yams. Like, I have been in the supermarket, I have been at Walmart or whatever, and ran into a gorgeous girl or a girl that I know in my past or something like that,
Mhm.
and I've said, oh, how you doing? Got a little hug type shit. You know what I mean? But I never really like, except when I was younger. When I was younger, it was always like, yo, every time I see a girl that look good, I gotta go and pursue her.
But that's why you were successful.
You gotta look at your environment.
That's
though.
why you were successful.
But you do gotta look at your environment though, because if you're in a closed environment, you can't go up to every single girl. If you go to Walmart all the time,
But
you can't be going to
you're-
Walmart every week and meeting the
Walmart
girl.
is just one example. So is Target.
Target,
There's plenty of
Walmart,
places.
Any
You
place.
could meet people, but
You
if
could
you
meet people, but you
check
gotta
this out.
put yourself out there to do it,
Exactly.
right? And that includes you approaching somebody
But this is
saying
what,
that
but
you
this is
wanna
what
talk
I'm
to
saying.
somebody
But
right
this is
now.
what I'm saying. a lot of times we're saying, "Lo, let's just go to the club to do that," and it don't gotta be that deep.
Nah, it don't.
But we have to have that
I
mentality.
don't be like, yo, I'm about to go to Target right now and get me a girl. Like that's
So
what it really
check
is.
this out.
Let me
Check
get
this out.
dressed up, nigga.
Check
We
this
going to
out.
Target.
Check this out. Check this out.
Oh
Check
shit.
this out. You don't
Hey,
see
girl, what
you don't
get?
see beautiful women at Target.
I do.
You don't see beautiful
I see
women
beautiful
at
women
Walmart.
everywhere.
Listen, I'm just saying in
All over the
abundance.
world.
In abundance on some
when a
regular
woman-
shit
so
where you
when-
can
So when
listen,
a woman,
listen.
so when I see beautiful women and I'm dealing with a woman, I have to be able to let this woman understand. Listen, I love women. Women look gorgeous. Women, oh my God, I love them. But I want you to understand that just because I love all these women, I have discipline. I don't have to go after every single target. If I see a woman that's pleasant and she seems like everything else, like outside of her just looking beautiful,
That's not the
I
goal.
see that she's feminine. I see like, oh my God, she's like, oh my God, can you grab that macaroni up there for the top shelf for me? I'm like, I'll be glad to do it for you.
I'm just saying.
And I grab it for her, and then I start talking to her or whatever, and I see how feminine she is and how nice she is.
I'm just saying, some people deserve to not be single. Some people deserve
I
to
guess,
have a woman cater to them.
I'm not gonna. I could say.
And if
I guess
that's
you could
the
say
case,
that.
and if
You
that's
could say that. I think
and
that's
if that's
subjective.
the case, they have to be deserving people because
Right.
not everybody deserves to be treated like kings.
Right.
Some niggas is gestures and should be treated like jokers.
I don't want to. I don't want to be single forever, but I have other priorities. I guess you know what I mean. So
I
like,
understand.
so like with
I'm not mad
that,
at
I don't
that.
even entertain the relationship shit unless it comes. And when I'm dealing with somebody and I like them,
Yeah.
while I'm doing what I'm doing, if they fall off or they don't, I don't even really. It don't bother me. Cause I'm still moving. I'm still doing what I gotta do. I
You know
still got
why?
things on my
'Cause they
mind, things
was-
that's important to me.
Because they were never part of the plan.
It could have been, but it all depends on how they move too. Like we have to be on, and I say a lot when I'm talking to women. I'm very verbal. So when I'm talking to them, I'm telling them
Mhm.
about some expectations and things that I'm going to do, and I'm hoping that when they're saying things that we can like kind of correlate with where I'm coming from in the relationship, so we can find a commonality and we be like, okay, that's what I want too. And then when we decide that we both want similar things, then we know that our relationship is probably gonna work. We can take a chance on it.
Okay.
But it's gonna take time for us to build certain things, especially when there's certain things into place. I'm willing to make a fucking a compromise, depending on how I feel about the person and how I feel that person feels about me.
Mhm.
But a lot of people aren't genuine. Like I'm really this is who the fuck I am. So like if a chick see me and I'm being cool or whatever, and then we having a conversation and she hear me yelling at somebody because they doing some wild shit, she's like, oh my God, you never did that. I never had to. You know what I mean? And I never told you that I was fake. I just said, like, I'm not gonna really let certain things get to me. Only thing that's gonna get to me is something that affects my pockets or something that affects my fucking time. When you fuck with my time, then you fuck up my whole shit. Cause I'm making time for you. Like anybody, like, yo, somebody tell me to pick them up and they live all the way the fuck out here. And I go to pick them up and they like, oh, you know what? I said I'm not gonna go. What the fuck? So I'm all the way there and now I gotta go back and I'm like, yo, like, am I supposed to be upset? Yes, motherfucker, yeah. But I'm gonna be like, you know what? You should have told me on the way, whatever. Cause sometimes motherfuckers don't communicate and that's a big problem.
So this nigga,
Communication is everything.
3 strikes in a
But
row.
if you don't communicate, then I can't really effectively value us entertaining anything. But when I know everything is going on, like for instance, somebody dating somebody that had cancer, had the big C, like, and they didn't know that the person had the big C, but they wearing hats all the time and shit, drawing their eyebrows on. You'll never know. So you just think, oh, she just like hats. This girl got the whole George Costanza underneath that motherfucker.
We talk about somebody specifically.
I'm not saying that. It's just an example.
That's scary.
But you dealing with somebody, and you find out this, the big thing like this is going on with this person, and you don't even know. And then now they hit you with it after y'all done
She had
developed a
long hair
relationship.
and she had a baseball cap on.
That's
You ain't
hypothetical.
even
This
know.
is hypothetical.
You ain't like,
I'ma
you
know.
take your hat
It's
off.
hypothetical.
You
Like,
don't
let
fuck
me
with your
see.
girl for real. If you don't know if
It's
she's balding and
It's
you don't know,
hypothetical. This
you
hypothetical.
don't fuck with your bitch.
Let's
for
just
real.
say hypothetically, you set somebody up with a blind date or whatever.
Okay.
It was this type of
Oh, and they didn't know?
and they ain't know.
That's fucked up.
It is
like,
fucked
yo,
up,
that
right?
motherfucker is
Something-
dying.
Well, it's
you
double.
want me to be fucked up? Like, this
It's
person
double.
passed a
It's
couple
double
weeks after I know this
miscommunication because the person that set you up. But then it's like,
Damn.
fucked up. I would tell him I couldn't do it. I'll be honest. Like, look,
but you don't know.
I'm going to find out.
Nah, you find out too late. Like that was like.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
part
yeah,
of
I want
the
you to
He
scenario.
know.
said ain't no such thing
I want
as
you
too
to
late.
know.
'Cause when
Well,
you
I'm
find
like, that's
out,
fucked up.
you
That's
fuck-
all I'm going to say. I'm going to say that to the, what's the name?
I want you to
You
know.
took it already?
I don't know.
See, I passed it.
I thought I didn't think it would be a big deal or whatever. What? This is the last person that you're gonna be with.
Yeah,
bro.
it's over. I want
That's crazy.
you. I want
That's
you.
a sad situation.
I want you to
Being
know that you put me in a
hypothetical.
fucked up situation, just out of some. I don't
Really
want to
make
die
a movie
alone
about
type
that
shit.
with like
Like
Mandy
just so.
Moore,
Like that's fucked
A
up.
Walk to Remember.
Oh, I don't know. It's crazy. This might be
But
hypothetically
I
a
think-
real life situation.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that you know somebody.
No,
with cancer.
I don't think it was a blind date though. She just didn't tell him.
Crazy.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
she
just
found out.
But yeah, like I don't know, like that was kind of crazy. But
Maybe he did know, but he
some situations like that, like I look at it like damn,
I
like
feel like that's assuming the worst.
yeah.
I don't like assuming.
You
the
gotta,
worst.
but that's what I'm saying. We need to be forthcoming with
I
things,
like assuming
with the
worst.
person that if you really care about somebody, be forthcoming with shit. Because if you're not, then we wasting each other's
You don't have to
time.
assume the worst.
I
You
might
care
not,
about
I might not, I might not,
it, you assume the best. Like
I
oh,
might
okay.
not be deal with it the way
She
that you
moved to
think I might be
Mexico.
dealing with it. Yo, what if somebody what if you just really started like dealing with somebody? Y'all already had sex. Y'all was hanging out. Y'all was, you know what I mean, whatever. Y'all was vibing. Everything was
And
good.
she just disappeared.
And then all of a sudden she just disappeared, and then later on you find out that she like in Las Vegas or some shit. She lived in Las Vegas.
Oh, then I know what type of person I try to stay away from people somewhere in that nature. Like, oh, this bitch is.
Oh, so that's what you would take. You would take from it like, yo, if a person is dealing with me and I get intimate with them, they're all gonna just go to Las Vegas.
I just no, that's stupid. I mean,
So that's what I'm saying. Like
Listen-
it's just
listen
like
to what
some
I'm saying.
people just flake and some people
listen
are
to what
great.
I'm saying. I think everything that happens to me happens for a reason. 100%. Everything. There's no coincidences. There's no, oh, this person just decided to do
You
that.
seen this coming.
Not you seen it coming, but at the end of the day, there is reasons why it happened, and you have to learn something from it.
Right.
Or if you don't, you're gonna have to live it again. I wholeheartedly believe in that. So because I believe in that, once a person does that to somebody that they claim they care about, and then just ended up like, oh, that shows who you really are. Your real nature came out.
Right.
And the lesson is don't fuck with this person and
Don't
watch
fuck
out
with
for
this-
and
this
watch out for
dirtbag.
people like this too. You see what I'm saying?
Dirtbags.
That's weird. That's wild. We just went to like, my people just went to Vegas too. That's crazy.
Go to Vegas. And y'all was good. You was so happy, and then they just come back and be like, I have a lot to explain. Come back 2 years
Wow.
later.
That's wild.
You got a whole new life. You got a kid. They still want to be there.
What if you find out?
Cause here's a twist. Here's a twist. The mother of the
my
kid.
girl going on
You're
vacation.
a widow. You're a widow husband.
Girl vacation.
You're a widow husband, and you still have your child from the past
And you didn't
relationship.
tell
No, the kid is there. They see the kid, but they come back into your life.
Who come back?
The person that went to Vegas came back like
How
a
you
couple
can't?
years later.
The fuck? You
You
can't come
said
back.
he's a widow.
He's a widow now for a kid with a new woman that he had after
Oh.
2 years. It's a 2
And
year
the
old.
mother left and went
The
to
mother,
Vegas.
no, the one you was dealing with before is 2 women. The one you was dealing with before, she left and went to Vegas.
Yeah,
you
it's
never
over
seen
for
her
her.
again.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
he
it's
met
over.
someone.
She came
and
back
had
2
a kid
years
and
later
she died.
because you moved on
Uh-huh.
and you found somebody else.
Yeah.
You had a kid with the new person,
Mhm.
and
It's
she
over.
passed away, but the old person come back and be like, yo, they
It's
still
still
wanna be
over
in your
her.
life.
Over
You not
my
with her?
over my wife's dead body. There's so many other females that I know
You think
is
you could
reliable.
you think you could just
Yes.
come back to my life after
Yes.
you just
That's what you're gonna
I'm-
say, but you
and
gonna
I'm
still
petty.
want her.
I'm petty. I'm gonna have pussy lined up.
Ah!
If my wife is no longer there, like there's gonna be another woman that I can have sex with that'll be just as way better, especially mentally. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna risk that because you know why? Fucking with those type of bitches, that energy,
that morning
that
sex is
energy,
crazy.
that energy,
Not morning sex, but like morning,
The-
like
that
morning
energy is
almost.
transferable, yo. If she is a problem, you're gonna have problems in your life, and I believe that
that's like a
wholeheartedly.
funeral crash.
Because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen.
You ever crashed a
Hey,
funeral?
no,
That's crazy.
I don't even like going to funerals. To crash one for some pussy. Wow. It's
Yeah,
wow. That's a bull. That's a bull.
You ever crash a bar
Pharaoh
mitzvah?
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
A
is
bar mitzvah.
Yo,
especially
you
a
gotta-
bar mitzvah, they gonna know how to
A
blow.
quinceañera.
You gotta crash
Like,
bad
who you here
quick.
with?
They crashing the Chinese New Year
Yeah.
parties, everything.
Shit crazy.
Crashing weddings is the best though. In real life.
Look,
But shit, man.
We cover everything.
I don't even know. Let me see.
We talked a lot.
We talked a lot. Maybe I got
How we
it.
get home?
Oh, Uber. Yeah, we said that all the time.
I know.
Gang, gang, Uber gang. Nah, we rep Uber. You know what we don't rep? DoorDash. Fuck DoorDash.
You want to order something?
Uber, not DoorDash.
Whichever one take my money, because
What?
I'm about to use a credit with one.
Oh shit.
Yeah, said that on live too.
What?
Shit, man, I'm not rich yet.
We just got it like that.
Alright. I got a lot of shit on my
What
plate
if you
this morning.
found out that your woman was a trans
Whoa!
after
Yo,
you've been with her
In
for
my
5 years?
in my restless dreams, I see
No.
that sound.
no Diddy.
Silent Hill. Yo, I'll snap.
Fucking Diddy.
I probably put the pillow over it while I was sleeping. You know, I mean, it'd be crazy. It'd be a whole. I mean, and then you know, I'll probably drive it to the neighbor shit. Like, what happened to Chris?
What's your
No.
Alright, yo. So we had a wonderful episode. Get lifted. 30 is the new 20.
You heard me?
It's your boy, Smiley Jizzle,
Mm-hmm.
and my mans,
Frederick Douglass.
and our co-host.
I have fun.
And we out of here, man.
Get lifted.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. That's Nate Dogg shit.